Hey Nick, it's Thursday. Nick, today there are a couple of things in the world that I'd like to talk to you about. I'm currently walking down to the river to talk to you about something that I don't think I've ever talked to you about, that I don't talk to a lot of people about. Depression. The reason that I want to talk to you about this is because we talked about depression in one of my classes today, my young adult literature class. We were reading a book called Out of the Dust by a woman with the last name of Hess. Out of the Dust is about a girl that's living in the Dust Bowl. She's 14 years old and plays piano. And then a couple of crazy things go down in her life, and she ends up sad, and her dad ends up sad, and they end up sad together and have to get through it. So there were a group of people in my class that had to talk about this sadness, known as grief, and the 5 stages of it, which are denial, anger, bartering, depression, and acceptance. This is about the weirdest thing on the planet Earth. In this beautiful place, let me show you. There's a door with a silhouetted Iron Man in front of it, and this other piece of iron something whose function appears non-existent. This bush, this door, and a whole lot of nothing in between. Door. I imagine it's some kind of art. The Iron Man just scared the crap out of me, even though I knew he was right there. Oh my god. I looked up and I was like, oh, the person! There he is. I live here. What I'd like to say about depression is that, or grieving, is that it's so overwhelmingly normal that I think people that are grieving get upset. Well, I know that, you and I as brothers had to deal with a loss in the family, or a couple, and I believe we dealt with them differently, and they affected us differently, definitely because of the difference in age that we have. And that's okay. What is this? Chickadee? I feel like the camera can't see it, but my brain can see it. Anyway. Everyone grieves, and everyone grieves differently and for different lengths of time. The long and short of it is that grieving is normal. I'm going to show you something cool. There are people knocking over a tree not too far away from me, and a teepee with recyclables. Why I'm telling you this is to make me feel better about myself. Oh. Because for some reason it's easier to help yourself by helping other people, because you end up telling people what you need to hear because it's also what they need to hear. Although, not that I think that you need to hear. Because even though things die, life goes on, as demonstrated by this tree. Life rises from death. You can hear it. Here, in this pile of dead things, springs a chorus of life. A chorus of sound coming from living things. I noticed that having the camera so close to my face gives really harsh reality to the fact that my mustache. Well, Nick, after some research, I found out that the cool muscle machine goes by the name of a TENS unit, which is what TENS, T-E-N-S, stands for transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. This, as you have learned, is the use of electrical current produced by a device to stimulate the nerves for therapeutic purposes, which just sounds cool to me. Also, you failed or neglected to respond to my question of when do you feel most still. I would still like to know the answer to that. This is when I feel most still. When you can sense yourself pressed up against movement. Additionally, I didn't tell you anything about my literary traditions class because I didn't have literary traditions yesterday and I didn't have it today either, but I will tell you about that class on Saturday because I'm going to have that class on Friday. Fun fact, by the way, college comes from the Latin word collegium, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. In Rome, a collegium was a club or society, or a group of persons living together under a common set of rules. I get this definition from Wikipedia. Collegium is sort of a conglomerate of words. Con, meaning together, like the Spanish con, which means with. Leg, meaning law, like legal, legality, or Lego, which means I choose. Nick, the other thing you addressed was my poem. The poem is not done, but has been submitted for workshopping. So when I'm done workshopping it, I have Doritos in my mouth, and then revise it, then I'll tell you what it's about. And as always, I will leave you with a question or something to think about, which is, what is your favorite time of day and why? I will see you tomorrow.